Namaste, everyone. Welcome to your orientation. I'm Suyash from the brand communication team at And Academy. I'm excited to welcome all you budding designers. We have eminent design leader Shiva Vishwanathan along with your faculty as well as And Academy's team members present with us today. Let me introduce you to the man who envisioned and created And Academy, Dr. Jitin Chadda, our founder and CEO. An education entrepreneur with over 14 years of experience in higher education. He's also the founder and director at the Indian Institute of Art and Design, a leading design school in Delhi. I invite Dr. Chadda to share a few words with us.
Thanks, Suyash. Wish you all a very good morning. I am really excited to be part of our cohort 3 orientation program today. I really thought about talking about really two things. One is the inception of Ant Academy, and the other, second is the mission of Ant Academy. I think uh, as you're part of the family now, you should know this. We'll begin with the inception of Ant Academy. Perhaps many of you might already know it's there in the introduction that we've been running a brick and mortar design college under the brand name of Indian Institute of Art and Design for nearly a decade now. It's in collaboration with Kingston University. And if you've asked me about 3 years ago, I could have never imagined that design could have been taught online. So what really changed in the last 3 years? First was COVID. At IIAD, it forced us to teach online for almost 2 years, which made us realize that live online teaching is not only possible, but equally effective. It gave us the opportunity to practice and perfect our online course delivery. Second was that our recruiters' demand for design talent was much more than the supply of quality graduates. With increasing digitization, the demand for design talent has grown exponentially. And third is greater access to quality faculty. We realized that access to industry-relevant faculty was much easier if the constraints of geographical boundaries did not exist. This, in simple terms, means that we can get you the best of the talent to teach from across the country and are not just restricted to Delhi, as it is the case for IID. All this gave us the confidence that an online design upskilling platform could be created that would offer high quality, real-time, collaborative learning, equivalent, if not better, than traditional college university systems. It's been a year since the launch of Ant Academy, and there has been no looking back. We have achieved much more than we initially expected in terms of online course delivery and learning outcomes. The feedback from our last two cohorts has been very encouraging. Next really comes to the point, what is the mission of Ant Academy? What is Ant Academy there to do? And that relates directly to you as learners. If you visit our website, perhaps most of you have, and read, and I'm just going to read it out actually out of the website. It says that we make design education accessible, affordable, and industry relevant to enable successful career transformations. So this isn't really any marketing jargon that we came up with in a conference room. We truly mean each and every word that's written there. And I'm going to take the next 5 minutes to expound on each word, what is written on our website. Firstly, it is to make design education accessible. Design education should not be restricted to the select few who can physically enroll in a college full-time, move to a large metro city, and belong to a particular age group and income bracket. What about the learners' needs of tier 2 and tier 3 cities? Why should one need to choose between learning and working when one can learn alongside work? And why should there be an age limit to learning? One should be able to learn and upskill at any time and at any stage in their career. At Ant Academy, our learners come from across the country and not just the major metropolitan areas. And they are of all age groups, from college students to mid to late career professionals and everyone in between. Next part of our mission is to make quality design education affordable. The traditional model of college education is not affordable for everyone, as private colleges have high operating costs due to physical campus infrastructure and capacity constraints. Take the example of IIAD. After creating 75,000 square feet of campus, we can only cater to 850 odd students at a cost that only few can afford. At IIAD Academy, we are free from the constraints of a physical campus, thereby making it much more affordable for learners without compromising the quality of faculty and course delivery. Funding should not come in the way of learning, which is why we have partnered with various financial institutions to make our courses truly affordable. By partnering with, with schemes such as zero-cost EMI and low-cost loans, the course fee has been reduced to rupees 8 to 12,000 a month versus many lakhs for a traditional college education. Thirdly, it is to ensure that the education is industry relevant so that you gain practical real-world skills, not just focus on learning software and theory. While there might be many offerings in the market that will focus on software skills, we at AND believe design is so much more than learning Photoshop, AutoCAD, or Figma. It is a way of thinking and solving problems for a user's needs. At AND, you will learn from academicians and industry practitioners who bring their vast experience and current knowledge to the classroom. You will work on collaborative projects and create design solutions for clients that simulate a real-world work environment. You will graduate with a professional portfolio that will showcase the depth and breadth of your knowledge to potential recruiters or clients, thereby making you highly employable. Lastly, but certainly not the least, the end goal is helping you launch your career in the field of design. All our courses come with career and placement support and some with job guarantees. We have a dedicated career services division that will work alongside you by helping you with your CV and profile development, understand your needs, and align you with potential recruiters from across the country. We are committed to providing you with a holistic design education and in turn have some expectations from you. While we work tirelessly to offer the best resources and opportunities to support your creative pursuits, we also see you as responsible adults managing your own growth trajectory. Our expectation is that you immerse yourself in the learning process and match the rigor of the course with your dedication and creativity. Time flies, and you will soon graduate from the course and become part of the community of design professionals. Forge lifelong friendships and become torchbearers of AND Academy. The journey has just begun. I wish you tremendous success and all the very best. Happy learning.
Thank you, Jason, for that wonderful speech. It's my pleasure to introduce Shiva Vishwanathan next. With over 3 decades of experience in design as a business, Shiva founded Apparatus Media Lab, a branded user experience studio. Currently, Shiva is juggling multiple hats as the co-founder and CMO of Catenate Design. He is also the design head at Ogilvy Pennywise and director at DesignUp. Shiva has explored design for print, technology, and digital media. I invite Shiva to share a few words with us.
Thank you. I'm going to quickly share my screen first so that I can. All right. To start with, let me welcome you all. It's extremely heartening to welcome people into the design fold. I've been here for a while and I love good company. So welcome in. And it's good to have company. I think the idea here is, just give me 1 second. I'm going to make this thing smaller so that I can see what I'm presenting. Sorry about that. So please do get and make this world better world for all of us, because I believe that if we make the design world better, we'll hopefully solve some real world problems and slowly make the world better, one problem at a time. And that's the large idea of us being a part of this. So today I want to delve in 5 points that will happen to you over this course of taking this, whichever course you take. It doesn't really matter whether you're doing interior design, user interface or user experience design, user interface and user experience design, or graphic design, or any of the courses that you're doing. The first thing that I want to really talk about is you will learn the ability to switch places with whoever you're designing it for, which essentially means you will learn to become that person who is going to experience what you create of sort. You will learn to become that person who you are designing the cafe for, who will probably sip a cup of coffee sitting in the cafe so that he or she can enjoy that moment and that experience in its completeness. You will learn to create that library ambience for a person who's sitting in a small town and enjoying his or her morning newspaper. And you will make those things happen if you're an interior design, user experience design, or graphic design. It's the same thing. You will learn to switch places with people who are going to respond to what you have put in front of them. The most important thing is that people have intent and they behave in a certain way with that intent to reach a certain goal, right? My friend always says, which I actually absolutely agree on, is that what we are creating, what we will create, is shape of these intents of sort. If somebody has got an intent and a goal, we are creating the shape of it and putting it in front of them so that they can experience the shape of their own intent. And that's what switching places is all about. The next thing that I want to talk about is the idea of a cohort-based program. I think cohort-based learning is very, very difficult and very, very experiential from the other courses that you've seen around. And it's important to kind of understand why Dr. Jatin Chadda is kind of stressed upon this kind of a learning. And it is important for us to understand that what you will go through. Cohort-based learning is not some passive method of looking at videos at your own time and not really interacting with anybody. It is about individuals who actually make the collective. You will learn as an individual by doing things, and you will learn from the collective of your cohort because you are interacting with them, and you're interacting with the faculty pretty much real time, if not near time. And so you got to kind of understand that individuals make the collective. And that's why this course is more special than going through other courses that you have looked at potentially. Eventually, you will understand that making things simpler is the most complex, right? Like we are actually working hard to make things simpler for our users, for the people who experience our stuff, right? Making experiences seamless, cohesive, and probably compelling that I want to really come back and do this stuff. And that happens only with simpler experiences. We run away from complex experiences, and that is something that you'll learn to do. Again, it doesn't matter whether you're doing graphic design, interior design, or user experience and user interface design. And this is what is the important thing, that we are striving to make the experiences simpler. And that's a very complex thing. So you will learn how to break that down and make things simpler. T is for team. There's a professor of mine when I was, quite a while back, 30 years back, when I was actually learning design, he used to talk about the idea of an I-shaped individual and a T-shaped individual, right? An I-shaped individual is about focusing on one thing very deep, which is like the shape of an eye. The T-shaped individual is ability to understand the context, which is the width on top. Look at the T, like there is a wide width on top, and then there is one area which is deep. A team, when you're working together, is a collaborative thing. And as an individual, you get to become a T-shaped individual. When you work with a team, you learn the width, and then you go deep in one area. So that is the T is for team, and you will learn to become a team member and a collaborator. One of the most important things to actually be a designer is not to be a practitioner alone. It is an ability to collaborate and it's an ability to mentor and eventually manage teams. So this is something that you will learn over time. 5, at the end of this, and it's quite important for me, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time talking about this. You will become a curious, diligent, and you will become human. It's not, I'm not saying that you are not right now, but it's about ability to embrace that humanity that you are a part of. One of the things that I want to actually talk about is first is curiosity, right? Curiosity is, is very, very important, because if you mindfully go through every experience that you go through today and you think about what are the problems, how can I solve it? How will I change that experience if I can change it ever at all? And if I'm curious about every possible nuance and things that happen around me, it makes me a better designer. The reason is that I'm imbibing those so that I can reuse them in creation at some point of time, right? So curiosity is important for a designer, and you will become a curious individual of sort. The second thing that I want to leave you with is diligence. They say God lives in details. I mean, lots of people say the devil lives in details too, but the details is what makes the whole, right? Like the bunch of details is probably way greater than the whole. And it's important to focus on details. You will learn to focus on all the details, right? It is about crossing the T's and dotting all the I's over time. And when you go through this course, and the rigor of this course will actually teach you to become more diligent, right? The last word is human. Again, I'm going back to the stuff that I started out with. It's the idea of an intent. We all have an intent and a behavior to reach a goal. Like, for example, it could be something very simple. I want to make a cup of coffee. If I want to make a cup of coffee, I have an intent. The goal is the cup of coffee, which means my intent is to probably get a bunch of things together, assemble them, put them together, and that's my behavior. Put it together and create a cup of coffee, right? So for everything that we do, there is an intent. If only there is a method in which we can actually create a shape for that intent, that makes us more human. Important stuff is that we are blessed with this concept called as a part in our brain called as the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex helps you actually simulate the future. Think about what will happen to something in the future, right? What can potentially go wrong? Incidentally, I don't think there is any other, unless trained, I don't think there is any other being on this world which is blessed with this. So it's important to kind of think like a human, because that is something that is special that you have. It's the ability to envision the future of whatever little thing that you're doing. And that is a blessed place to be in. So what I want you guys to do is keep these 3 words in mind: curious, diligent, human. I want you to measure yourself right now on how curious you are, how diligent you are, how human you are, and probably go through the entire course. And at the end of the course, you actually rate yourself again as to how curious you have become, how diligent you have become, and how more human you have become to embrace humanity, and probably create some parts of future which will work better for us. That's all I have. Thank you.
Wow. Curious, diligent, and human. Thank you so much for that speech, Shiva. Next, I have Prachi, our Deputy Head of Academics. She's a designer, educator, and researcher with 20 years of experience in the design industry as well as academia. A graduate from NIFT, New Delhi, she's also armed with a PG certification in higher education from Kingston University, London. Over to you, Prachi.
Thank you, Suyash. I certainly cannot match Shiva's eloquence and wisdom, just managing everyone's expectations around that. So I just want to share my excitement today. And today there are several things to be excited about. So I'll share 3 of those with you. On top of this list is that I'm amongst a gathering of individuals who chose to continue to be on the learning curve. In all my life, the greatest and most rewarding journeys have been that of learning. So, congratulations for making this choice. I know that the decision to enroll for this course has not been an easy one for you. There must have been moments of doubts, second guessing, skepticism, maybe even sleepless nights. But I'm so glad that despite all that, you decided to move forward. With this one step, you have displayed your courage and your commitment to your future. Please know that I share your excitement and nervousness at starting something new. The next thing that I'm super excited about is the community that we have built. So let me first introduce you to this community and then continue my talk. And it'll be wonderful if you can keep your cameras on as you meet your community. I hope this will come live in a minute. So I see the sound is not playing, Suyash. Is that true? Was the sound on?
We can't hear it.
Yeah, so I'll do it again. Today is the day when this decides to not follow my cue. And that is what makes us human. That sometimes there are things that don't work. Stay patient. Okay. So I hope you are excited to be a part of this community. And now excuse me, sorry for that. So now I'm back to the three things that I'm excited about today. I'm super excited about the diversity within our community. Yesterday night, I was studying the list of learners of this batch. We have people from a wide variety of backgrounds, from engineers to architects to MBAs. We have photographers, video editors, merchandisers, software developers, sales and marketing professionals, homemakers, and young mothers on a career break. Some of you are very sure of why you are here and how your future should be. Some of you are still exploring. There are people from the entire spectrum that stretches from feeling super confident to feeling very hesitant. We have people from 20 different states of India who speak at least a dozen different languages. There are some 19-year-olds, and then there are some who have more than a decade of work experience. Isn't this absolutely exciting? This diversity is the strength of our community. It will enrich our learning experience with multiple perspectives. Embrace and respect this diversity. Celebrate it. Being part of this diversity is advantageous to your design learning. Steve Jobs said, the broader our understanding of the human experience, the better designers we will be. Use this opportunity to get to know people who are different from you. We often do not get this chance in life. Learn with them, learn from them, and learn about them. Shiva also touched upon a part of this in his address. Learners who join our courses have often shared with me their fears and doubts arising from not having a background in design. You know, none of you is at a disadvantage here because of your background. All of you just have a different advantage. You will soon see that design accommodates all your backgrounds. There is a bit of everything in design: visual art, science, psychology, sociology, culture studies, tech, marketing, even maths and geometry. So don't dissociate your past learnings from these new learnings. Make it additive. It is this possibility that excites me. In fact, my excitement is heightened by the fact that in this cohort, we have some existing AND learners who have chosen to continue to learn with us. The third thing that I'm excited about is that we have built a very human experience in an online remote space. Learning is fundamentally a human process. It has to do with experiences that lead to transformation. When we were setting up AND Academy, one of the things that I was personally very cognizant of was that online spaces can end up being sterile versions of perfection. But while we can gain information and knowledge in an environment like that, can we enjoy learning? Can we truly be invested in learning? I'm excited that at AND we have committed ourselves to joyful working. We love what we do and we do a lot of it. We work hard, very hard. We challenge ourselves and push the boundaries of our abilities every day. But we do it while preserving the humanness. And for this, I'm very grateful to each of the mentors and teachers at AND. I can see that each of them is having fun, and that is infectious. You will find yourself at the center of this process. You will see technology becoming incidental and human approaches taking center stage. And that is absolutely exciting for me because learning cannot be and should not be a mechanical process. The next few months are going to be full of rich experiences. My humble advice would be stay patient with yourself. Allow yourself some time to figure things out. Do not obsess about your performance in this course. If you let this obsession take over, it will feel like you're grappling in turbulent waters. But if you ease into the process, you will float. At the same time, do not get complacent. Keep checking every day if you're trying new things, pushing yourself, changing the way you have been looking at things or doing things. If you can check the box on all these, then know that you're doing fine. You will find success quietly perched on your shoulder one day. As mentors, we are excited to explore things with you and learn along with you. In this journey, we are one. I wish you the very best and exciting times ahead. So I'm going to thank Jitin and Shiva for giving us a great start to today's morning. And it's a long day ahead for our learners and the mentors. There are also several mentors who have joined us on a Saturday morning, and thank you for doing that. Not just for today, for just being there, part of our support system, encouraging us. Your presence helps us, move forward with this. So there's a long day ahead of us, and I'm just going to quickly share my screen and for the benefit of the learners that what is our agenda for the day. We've interestingly enough finished our first session ahead of time, which means that we can all enjoy a break right now. Our next session starts at 11, and I request all learners to join. Make sure that you join. Your course leads are going to be there, and we are going to do a deep dive into how academics at AND is organized. So you can keep a notepad ready with you because there may be some notes that you want to take, but broadly it's all there for you also on your course handbook. It might also be helpful that if you keep your course handbook on Canvas open during this session, and that will also be a time for you to interact with us. You'll get to hear from your teachers. You learn about how we organize your learning, your schedules, and all of that. So don't miss that session. And then later in the day at 2 o'clock, you have IT troubleshoot. For those of you who are facing any challenge, they can join that session, right? So thank you so much, everybody. And we're going to see you at 11. This link is going to stay on. We're all just going to switch off our cameras, and we're going to put ourselves on mute till 11 o'clock. We're not closing this link because we continue on this link throughout the day. For learners, you can choose to leave the meeting, join 5 minutes before 11, but those of us who are at AND are going to be logged in for you. Okay, so thank you so much, and have a refreshing break.